Presented by the 2018 Honda Civic Type R. Like no Honda you've ever seen.
What a nice night for a ball game, and the Blue Jays are happy to be back at home and to get away from the Trop. Blue skies, roof open, and Dave Martinez, a very familiar face for Canadian baseball fans, a member of both the Expos and also briefly for the Blue Jays. He's the first-year manager of the Washington Nationals, and Bryce Harper's just among the talented players that the Nationals have in their lineup. They're second place in the National League East right now. They're a little bit behind Atlanta, who comes in here on Tuesday. Bryce Harper hitting only .224, but drawing a ton of walks, hitting a lot of home runs. And man, has he done some damage when he has seen Blue Jay pitching. And here's the guy who's all the rage right now, 19-year-old Juan Soto, who is hitting .344 with an OPS over 1,000 in a couple of weeks in the big league.
And they're getting some of their players back, their offensive players, so this is going to be a good test for Aaron Sanchez as Aaron gets ready for his 14th start of the season. First career appearance versus the Nationals, fifth start versus the National League team, and he's done really well in interleague play. He's won each of his 4 starts versus the National League. He's 4-1 in interleague play, 33 2/3 innings. He's only given up 4 earned runs to a National League team. And Dan, he has won at Baltimore, at Minnesota, at Detroit. He hasn't won here at Rogers Center this year, so we got to get him a win tonight.
Hasn't picked up a win here in this ballpark. In fact, going back to late in the 2016 season. We'll see how it goes. Here's Adam Eaton leading it off for the Nationals. And in with a called strike is Sanchez. Eaton just back off an ankle injury. Talk about a guy who's, if he didn't have bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all in the health department. Had an ankle injury that cost him 52 games this year, just came back. That's why he's in right, Harper's in center. They just want to ease him back in a little bit. And last year missed almost the entire season with a torn ACL.
Plays so hard when he was with the Chicago White Sox. Very impressed with him in the outfield, and he's the table setter for this team.
There's the changeup, and it's fouled off. Look at the velocity, 92 miles an hour on the changeup.
That's not where Aaron wants to be with the fastball, or excuse me, the changeup. The fastball's about 95 or 96. He wants to be in the 86 to 88 miles per hour with the changeup.
Unless that was a two-seamer, but it looked like changeup movement. There it is again, right? That's the changeup. That's 91.
That's the changeup, and you know what that tells me? He's amped tonight. He's feeling pretty good. I was watching him do his bullpen today and before the ball game, and he looked good. Everything was working together.
0-2, and a swing and a miss at a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, one down. A look at the defense behind him tonight, and a lot of the usual guys in the usual spots, including Russell Martin behind the plate.
I think he could be really busy in this series, especially tonight. The Nationals, they like to run. They're 51 for 65 in stolen bases this season, easily the most in the National League. They've got a lot of guys who can run, and they like to run.
And this guy likes to run more than anybody. Trey Turner, who's 19 for 20. Stealing bases, stole 46 last year in just 98 games. Man, Aaron Sanchez is out of the gate in a hurry here tonight. He is dealing right now.
Yeah, the legs and the arm, they're working together. The fastball's exploding to the plate.
Bounces in the change at 92. As has been discussed so often about Sanchez this year, it's not the stuff, it's the command.
It's the command. Yeah. And he has had his problems at times, but his last 2 starts, the fastball command has been a little bit better. His curveball, he's been introducing that just a little bit more in his last couple of starts.
Haven't seen it yet here tonight.
It's not the two-seam fastball for me, I think, is key or important for Aaron Sanchez. I think it's his four-seam fastball. I think he's got to be able to go upstairs with it. I think he's got to paint it down on the corners if he has to.
There's the first curve of the night.
Yeah, he can sink it, that two-seamer, and he's got a lot of movement to it. But I think that four-seam where he can pound the strike zone with the fastball is important.
Like the one he got eaten on.
Absolutely.
That four-seamer up.
Absolutely.
Two-two. Down and away. 97 on that fastball. This is the hardest we've seen him throw all year, isn't it?
He's amped. He's feeling pretty good. if he can establish that fastball early, get it over, get it into the strike zone with regularity, it's going to make everything else tough.
And a ground ball to short. Two-hopper right at Aledmus Diaz. Got to hurry with Turner getting down the line. 2 down. So now Bryce Harper. And a lot of talk about him because he, along with Manny Machado, of course, they're free agents at the end of the year. Where are they going to land? You got to think Washington's in the running, that they've got a shot to retain him. A lot of, rumor and innuendo. Well, he grew up a Yankee fan. He's going to want to go play with the Yankees. And, can you have Judge and Stanton and Harper? Can you have all 3 of those guys on the same team? But kind of strange to see Bryce Harper. And he hasn't always hit for a high average, but kind of strange to see him be hitting 224 right now.
He's drawing his walks. He's had 50 walks already this season. That ball just down. I don't know how much they've been pitching to him because we don't do a whole lot of Washington games. But every time I turn on the television, this guy's trotting around the bases with a home run.
Got 19 of those. Sanchez will challenge him with that high fastball. 2-1. Mike Trout just keeps on raking right now. He's got 23. We all know about JD Martinez and then Chris Davis, Jose Ramirez, and a Bryce Harper, who is your National League leader in home runs, 5th in the big leagues. Best year, of course, for Harper was 2015. When as a 22-year-old he was the National League MVP. He was the Rookie of the Year back in 2012 when he was 19. And he'll draw a walk. And I don't think that's Sanchez avoiding him. I just think that was Sanchez not throwing strikes. I don't think he was pitching around him there.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah.
First inning, 2 outs, you get the first 2 guys. Why run up your pitch count pitching around a guy in the first inning? It looked like he was just trying to pump it in there and just came out of his delivery a couple of times.
There's a really good player for the Nationals who doesn't get a lot of attention, I think, beyond Washington. And you can see the numbers are not great this year, but Anthony Rendon has had some tremendous years for the Nationals. Twice has finished in the top 6 in MVP balloting. And Sanchez, who had great command against the first 2 batters, now struggling a little bit to find it again.
Got underneath that one just a little bit. And what happens when you get underneath it? You end up pushing the ball towards home plate instead of staying behind it and throwing it to a spot. This is a good little timeout right here for Aaron, just to walk off the back of the mound, take a deep breath. Pete Walker and he have been working on using that 4-seam fastball just a little bit more. But it's a good time just to walk off the mound, take a deep breath, and regroup.
Harper's running. Pitch taken outside, and there's no throw. 6th stolen base on the season for Bryce Harper.
Told you, these guys, they like to run. They take on the image of their manager. Dave Martinez was a very aggressive type of player. He was the bench coach for years for the Tampa Bay Rays and the Chicago Cubs behind Joe Maddon. And everybody knows Joe Maddon's teams like to run. They are not going to waste any time getting in the scoring position.
And on the replay, we could see Martin just couldn't quite get a grip on the ball, kind of juggled it just for a moment. And at that point, there was no sense in making the throw. And Dave Martinez, a really good player in his day. And good outfielder, good speed, generally played against righties, left-handed batter, not always a full-time player. 3-1, foul to back, and Sanchez going right at him right now with the fastball.
You have to. I think you have to establish that fastball and tell him, okay, I'm not afraid of you. Let's see if you can hit my number 1.
Runner at second, 2 down and a full count on Rendon. Little jam shot is going to drop in right field. Here comes Harper. Grichuk can't come up with it cleanly, and the run will score to give the Nationals a 1-0 lead.
It's a team that we told you is starting to get their guys back. Rendon is an outstanding, when he is healthy, run producer. 2 strikes. He's going to run that fastball right in on his hands, and he muscles it off of him. Anthony drove in 100 runs last season for Washington, hit over 300. Grichuk has a shot, but in his haste to get the ball out of his glove, bobbles it a little bit. The Nationals take the lead.
Here's Daniel Murphy. And a fly ball to left field. Right there is Teoscar Hernandez. And that's all for the Nats here in the top of the first. They do scratch out a run, though, and lead 1-0. Left-hander started against them. And a pretty good left-hander was on the mound tonight. We'll tell you about him in a moment. But first, we'll check out the lineup for the Blue Jays tonight. Justin Smoak is up in the 2 spot again, and as was the case last year, has better numbers against lefties than he does against righties on the season. And Russell Martin has always enjoyed hitting against the Nationals. He's got some pretty good numbers against tonight's starter, Gio Gonzalez,
who is coming off his shortest outing of the season last time out. Just 3 1/3 innings, 4 runs, 6 hits versus the Giants. Despite that poor start, he has been one of the Nationals' best and most consistent pitcher in his career. 7 years now he has been with the Washington Nationals. The lefty just keeps churning him out there. Good start after good start.
Yep, reliable guy. And quickly ahead of Teoscar Hernandez, 0-2. It'll be Hernandez, Smoak, and Solarte, top third of the lineup. And if he's locating, look at where those 3 pitches are. If he's locating down there, it's going to be a tough night for the Blue Jays.
He's using his changeup a little bit more this season than he has in the past, using it about 22% of the time. In a little bit of a nice roll right now, despite that last start.
That's pitching right there, isn't it? As he gets Hernandez for the first out. Let's take a look at the defense behind the Nationals. As is mentioned, this is a little bit unusual. Bryce Harper's in center field.
Yeah, he's going to play in center field. He played in center field at Yankee Stadium, and I think this all has to go to Adam Eaton, who's back in the lineup. Eaton's a better right fielder than he is center fielder. You talk to all the scouts and the baseball people. Since Eaton has come back, they're going to put Harper in center field. It's a very good, young, very good defensive outfield.
It also has to do with Soto coming up. They like Soto in left field. So Michael A. Taylor, who's really their best center fielder, he's finding himself on the bench right now. They got 4 pretty good players for 3 spots. And if Taylor's in there, it's a different configuration. But right now, the way this teenager's sitting, they're not getting him out of the lineup anytime soon.
Why would you take him out, right?
Smoak drives the ball to right center field. It's going to split the outfielders. And up against the wall on a bounce. And Smoak will rumble into second with a 1-out double.
Blue Jays have moved Justin Smoak into that 2 spot just to shake some things up offensively. That's his 15th double of the season. Expect a lot of pitches away to the right-handed batters. As Smoke stays right with it, just change it up a little bit, give him a different look, trying to kickstart the offense and kickstart Justin Smoke again, so they moved him in the number 2 hole.
Snaps an 0 for 23 for Justin Smoke. Let's see what Yangervis Solarte can do against Gonzalez. Switch hitter batting from the right side, and Solarte spending some time in San Diego has seen Gonzalez over in the National League.
You just said after the strikeout to Hernandez, that's pitching, and that's exactly what Gio Gonzalez does. Take a little off, put a little on, move the ball around the strike zone, and the toughest pitch that he has, the one you really have to have in the back of your mind, is that good curveball.
You mean that one?
That one right there. He can start it in the other batter's box, the left-handed batter's box, and drop it right in there on the right-hander. He's been doing it for years. Former first-round draft pick of the Chicago White Sox.
Solarte with a fly ball to right field. And backpedaling a few steps is Eaton. He'll make the catch, and Smoke is able to tag and get to third. But 2 down now. So now Kendrys Morales will be the batter with 2 outs, and Smoke 90 feet away. Morales hitting .218, 5 homers. Another switch hitter, 3 straight switch hitters again for the Blue Jays in the 2, 3, and 4 spots.
Kendrys hitting the ball a little bit better of late. He's got that average up over 200. It's a long climb from where he started, but starting to hit the ball all over the field. He can't lock into being just a pull hitter. They play him to pull when he's a left-handed batter, but he can't get locked in there, especially against Gonzalez. If you start thinking pull, you're going to pull the ball right to the shortstop.
Like that. And that's all for the Blue Jays in the first. They will strand Smoke at third, 1-0 Nationals through an inning.
Today, as many had hoped, exactly 1 week since he was eligible to come off the disabled list with that left calf injury. Now Donaldson is trying to keep the rest of his game sharp. Earlier this afternoon, we saw him taking ground balls there at third base and making throws to first. Now he was at Rogers Center on his off day yesterday to test that calf by running the bases, the final hurdle before it gets the green light to return. He told me it didn't go well as he had liked it to go, so he's going to continue to come out here, go through his normal routine until the calf is where it needs to be. He told me he's disappointed that he's not running at an effective rate, nor is he feeling comfortable doing it. What is encouraging, he said no issues hitting or fielding. He's able to move side to side. He's able to go in, charge the ball under control. So there are things, Dan, progressing and moving in the right direction, but his calf is telling him he's not quite ready to return.
All right, Hazel, thank you. Yeah, and he hasn't run 100%. He hasn't gone full speed around the bases. He's got to be able to do that before they consider activating him. And John Gibbons said before the game today, in his opinion, Donaldson would need a game or two at AAA on rehab. You don't want to just throw him in there because what if he's not ready in game situations? You'd like him to play a game or two. That's a discussion obviously they'll have when the time comes. But as Hazel said, he was eligible as Adams thinks about bunting for a base hit against the shift.
I think he got that one on his fingers. Yep. If you're not used to doing that, you can break some knuckles. They don't seem to be too worried about it. He was trying to beat the shift by bunting, but you got to get those fingers behind the bat. That got him right on. It looked like the index finger or the middle finger.
Ow.
Yeah, right on the index finger.
Yeah, nobody's come out to talk to him or anything.
He feels it. He's still trying to walk it off, and now the trainer is going to talk about it. When you're trying to bunt, when you've got those fingers up around the barrel of the bat, what you want to do is you want to hide them behind the barrel, right around the label, and then catch it on the barrel. But he has exposed those fingers a little too much.
He's a pretty important guy for the Nationals. He's played a lot of first base. Kind of took Adam Lynn's spot on the roster. They had Lynn. They signed Adams as a free agent in the offseason.
They're missing Ryan Zimmerman.
Right.
Still on the disabled list.
There's Mark Reynolds, who they signed during the season. But Adams, big, powerful, left-handed bat. Kind of profiles more as an American League player, actually. You know, DH first base type. But he has been a very effective hitter, and he's going to stay in this game, although he still doesn't look like he's very comfortable right now. And if you're the Blue Jays and you don't want to do him any favors, you come right at him with a fastball on the inner half of the plate, right?
Well, he won't be bunting.
No.
With 2 strikes now. He's got great power. 13 home runs and 150 at bats.
Curveball almost hit him in the back foot, it looks like. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Came up with the Cardinals, spent some time with the Atlanta Braves, and now over here in Washington, like you were saying, swinging a hot bat lately.
276, 13 home runs already. And again, this is where Sanchez could make things a little bit more difficult for himself, is the extra pitches, the 0-2s that turn into 3-2s, and he gets very upset with himself when he's at 98 pitches, say through 5 innings, something like that. There's that high fastball that he got eaten with, and he gets Adams with it here to open up the second. So now the Blue Jays will get their first look at 19-year-old phenom Juan Soto, who on Wednesday night hit 2 home runs. Now granted, this one is a Yankee Stadium pop fly down the line, but check out this one, and off a lefty no less, just to the right of straightaway center field and way out of Yankee Stadium. He will turn 20 in October as he looks at a fastball over the inside corner. And you know, boy, the book on him is mature beyond his years, understands hitting, understands how pitchers are trying to set him up. You know, 2-strike approach when he gets there.
Here's why I think he's going to be pretty good. You saw the flash of 5 home runs. 4 of them have come against left-handed pitching this season. Bryce Harper, when he was a rookie and he was 19, hit 6 home runs off left-handed pitching in 119 games his rookie season. He's already had 4, and none of them have been pulled to right field. He's got power the other way. We saw the one to center field. Pretty big jump from A ball to the big leagues this year.
Started in A, then went to high A, then to double A. Takes Pilar back, and he can't make the catch. Corrals it on the track, and Soto will pull up with a 1-out double.
You know, there are just certain guys in the big leagues when you see them that you say that's a hitter, and you watch them swing the bat, and you watch the ball come off the bat, and you listen for the sound, and you say this guy's got a chance to be pretty good. Sends Pilar all the way back to the wall, and Kevin can't come up with it. It's going to be another extra base hit for the youngster. Soto just out of the reach of Pilar.
That raises Soto's average now to .354 in 21 games in the big leagues. This is Wilmer Defoe, the second baseman. You saw Daniel Murphy earlier. He's DHing. Of course, when healthy, Murphy is normally the second baseman, but he's just back from injury, and the plan is They DH'd him in New York. They want to DH him here, taking advantage of being in an American League park. So Defoe will get some opportunities at second base, at least in the short term. And a chopper to the right side. Smoke to Sanchez covering. 3-1 on the putout. 2 down, and Soto to third. So a quick second out, and now can Sanchez get the number 9 hitter, and preferably quickly, and not let the Nationals add to this 1-run lead.
He's hitting 198, so I think you just got to pound him right here. You need to get an out here. Don't want to turn over the lineup.
Pedro Severino. Matt Wieters has been on the DL for a while. The Nationals always seem to be dealing with their fair share of injuries. 1-0. In the top of the second inning here in the opening game of this 3-game series, as Sanchez shakes off Martin a couple of times to the point where Severino asks for time. Fastball in is what Martin wants. And fastball in is what he gets. Well located.
That's what I'm talking about. Knocking the bat out of his hand right there. Just aggressively attack that strike zone after this guy. 198. That's his 2-seamer right there. Great movement right in on his hands.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, says Russell Martin. Here it comes again. And off the glove of Diaz into left field to cash in another run and to make it 2-0.
You know, it looked like Aledmus got there and had a chance to make a play on that ball. Another 2-seamer right on the hands of Severino. He broke his bat, shattered his bat, and it looked like Diaz had a chance to make the play. Hard fastball in, breaks the bat, and it's just off of his glove. You know, you can't guide it. This could have easily been right at him, but just out of his reach.
So once through the order, I don't know how you feel. He's had great stuff tonight.
Great stuff.
And he's down 2-0 with a high pitch count. And the walk was a big problem in the first inning. Then Harper steals second, comes in on a bloop single. The double by Soto obviously legit here in the second, but then a 2-out broken to bat flare. Runner is going, and the pitch swung on, hit weakly to the third base side, and no play for Sanchez. It'll be an infield hit for Eaton, and the inning continues.
Told you that the Washington Nationals like to run. This is the catcher taking off, opening up a hole on the left side. Eaton tries to go that way, hits it into no man's land. Solarte might have had a better shot at fielding the ball and making a play. He's coming in, and by the time Aaron catches the ball and stops, there's no play.
So 4 hits now for the Nationals, and 3 of them very soft hits. But it is still 2-0 as Trey Turner takes inside ball 1. Turner grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, the only hard hit ball was the double by Soto so far in the first couple of innings. Single by Rendon, the single by Severino. Now the infield hit
on the corner, 1-1. In 2016, when he won the ERA title, the outs came quickly. The ground balls came quickly. He didn't have to work this hard, didn't have to throw this many pitches. Now he's been a little snakebit tonight, obviously, with infield hit, flare, broken bat hit, that sort of thing. But
the hardest thing about tonight, is that ball looked like it could have been a strike, is keep telling yourself, hey, I'm throwing the ball really well.
Right.
I'm not getting hit very hard. Sometimes it's tough to swallow like that when you look up at the scoreboard and you see that you're down. But Aaron's stuff is really good tonight.
Like maybe as good as we've seen it all season. The fastball.
The fastball.
Yeah. Saw some changeups early. Haven't seen many changeups since the first couple of batters of the game. We've seen a few curveballs, just one of them for a strike. Fastball and another weak chopper. Got to hurry on Turner, and they will get him. Good play by Solarte. And that'll be all for the Nationals in the top of the second. Another ground ball. This time the play is made. 2-0 Nationals.
The WestJet flight deck for the Dad's Den this Sunday, June 17th, when your Blue Jays continue their series against the Washington Nationals at 1:07 p.m. Eastern. For tickets, as always, visit BlueJays.com.
Thank you, Hazel, and a nice Friday night crowd here at Rogers Center. Big weekend series against Washington. And Kevin Pillar gets his first at bat of the night. And you and I both a little surprised. Now, they don't play the Nationals very often, but a lot of the Blue Jays have faced Gio Gonzalez. Pillar's never seen him before.
Yeah, I guess even in his time with Chicago, but he's been with Washington now 7 years.
Which encompasses all of Pillar's career.
That's right. And we didn't see him the last time we faced Washington in 2015.
So, yeah, I guess if he missed him in that series, that explains why he wouldn't have seen him. As he pulls a ground ball fair at third, backhanded by Rendon, who's one of the better third basemen of the game. One down.
Well, he's been doing it for a long time. Before playing for Washington, he was in Oakland, had some good seasons for the Oakland A's. He's basically fastball, curveball, changeup. And that curveball is a good one. He said it's a curve that he was taught by his father growing up in the Miami area. Says, I've never changed my grip since the day my dad showed me how to throw it. And it's a good one.
Yep. Here's Russell Martin. 4 for 10 with 6 walks in his career against Gonzalez. Nationals up 2-0 here in the early going in the first game of this series. And a strike over the inside edge, 1-1. Gonzalez, his best year, at least in terms of wins, probably his best year overall, was back in 2012. He was 21-8 with a 2.89 ERA and finished third in Cy Young voting. Just 2 years ago, he finished 6th in Cy Young, 15-9, 2.96. He's got a 2.65 ERA this year. A career ERA of 3.59, pretty good. 123 wins, 88 losses in 11 years in the big leagues.
Drafted by the White Sox in the first round in 2004. Then he was traded to the Phillies as part of the Jim Thome trade. And just a couple of years later, Kenny Williams said, who was the GM at the time, said, I think I made a mistake. I'm going to trade back for that guy. And then he was traded back to the White Sox for Freddie Garcia.
And he gets Martin. 2 down.
Well, if he catches you looking out over the plate, looking for that curveball or that changeup. He's got that ability to take that two-seam fastball. I like this one. Boom, right on the inside corner for his second strikeout of the night. Just move it around. Move it around the strike zone and change speeds.
Randall Grichuk now, who has seen a fair bit of Gonzalez from his years in St. Louis. Grichuk 2 for 9 with a homer in his career against Gonzalez. 2 down and the bases empty here in the bottom of the second. Gonzalez working quickly. If he gets in trouble, it can be with the walk. Every now and again, the walk numbers are pretty high. And coming into the game tonight, he had walked 32 in 74 and 2/3 innings. Broken to back, ground ball to short, backhanded by Turner. And the Blue Jays go in order. End of 2. Nationals up 2-0.
The top of the third, and earlier this week an anonymous NL executive was quoted as saying Harper is, quote, overrated and a selfish losing player. Jays veteran reliever Tyler Clippard, who happens to be a former teammate of Harper's and still a very good friend of his, took exception to those comments. He told me he has no idea what that executive is talking about. Clippard was with the Nationals for 7 seasons and said Harper was, quote, a consummate professional in his time with him. Not too many can argue he's a great player, an MVP, Rookie of the Year, 5-time All-Star. Clippard said he's a young player who speaks for himself, a good dude, a good ball player. When I heard that from some family and friends, I brushed it aside. There's just no validity to those comments in my mind. And Dan Nationals GM Mike Rizzo, who made the trip here to Toronto, called those comments, quote, gutless.
Yeah, and the name, as far as I know, never surfaced who it was who made the comments. Bryce Harper can be a polarizing guy. He's a great talent, obviously. And he's not a warm and fuzzy guy, Tabby. He's never pretended to be a warm and fuzzy guy. Even when he was a kid, even when he was coming up as a 19-year-old, you could see how singularly driven he was and still is to be considered the best player in the game.
I remember seeing him on the cover of Sports Illustrated as a 16-year-old, saying, wow, this is the next. As for that article, if there's no name behind it, that's all I need to know. They don't have the guts to put their name. If you're going to say something like that, put your name behind it. That was weak.
And Sanchez strikes him out on 3 fastballs.
Well, last time he ended up walking him and Harper came around to score. So Aaron says, I'm going to take him myself. 3 straight fastballs up in the strike zone. Saying, okay, if you're going to hurt me, you're going to hurt me with my number 1. And he didn't.
Now Rendon takes a high strike.
You know, the best part about that whole at bat right there when he got ahead 0-2, not wasting any pitches. Here's my best fastball. Let's see what you can do with it.
0-2. So far 5 fastballs, 5 strikes from Sanchez here in the top of the third. And you talked about how important it was to still believe, even though they scored a couple of runs in the first 2 innings, that he brought some really good stuff to the table.
Yeah. Don't fight yourself. Just have the confidence to say, hey, I've got some pretty good stuff right here. I got to throw some shutout innings, and I can do it.
0-2 curveball lifted to left field. Deep but playable for Hernandez. 2 down. The Pitch Tracker is brought to you by Coors Light. Coors Light MLB cans available now, featuring the Red Sox, Blue Jays, Yankees, Cubs, Mariners, and Tabby, the Expos.
That's fitting, isn't it?
Still one of the great logos. That's Dave Martinez. He was an Expo. 2 down for Daniel Murphy. Murphy with a fly ball to left field his first time up.
This is a important bat in the lineup for the Washington Nationals.
Martin coming back for a look, but no play.
Microfracture surgery in October. He missed the first 63 games this year. He can really hit. Really hit.
2 years ago, his first year with the Nationals, on the heels of that great playoff run with the Mets the year before. 2 years ago, he hit .347, 47 doubles, 25 homers, and he wasn't far off those numbers last year.
Runner-up to the National League MVP that season.
Travis a long way, back to his feet and on to first. Good range shown to his left there by Devin Travis. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Nationals here in the top of the third against Aaron Sanchez.
Season, and now the city welcomes the game's brightest stars for the 2018 NHL Awards. Share a magical moment with the NHL's elite on June 20th right here on Sportsnet.
Here we go in the bottom of the third, 2-0. The Nationals leading the Blue Jays and Aledmys Diaz, who will lead it off against Gio Gonzalez. And we have a change for the Washington Nationals. Mark Reynolds has come on at first. Obviously, that finger's really bothering Matt Adams. So Dave Martinez has to make an early change. Reaching forward, weak ground ball, charged by Turner, bare hand, doesn't get him. Infield hit Diaz.
Shortstop playing very deep, where Aledmys Diaz are respecting power. You can see Turner, he is out on the outfield, moves in, and he can't have a play. Does everything he can, bare hands it, gets enough on the throw, but Diaz sniffing base hit, hustling down the line.
Remember Diaz, that left ankle, fouled the ball off it, and the right knee. He had a couple of painful foul balls down at the Trop, but we saw him in the clubhouse today. Big smile on his face, says, I feel okay. Devin Travis drives it to deep left field and gone. 2-run homer for Travis. his third of the season, and just like that, the game is tied.
You know, you've heard that saying, a bloop and a blast. Well, that's how the Blue Jays are going to get back into this one. The bloop by Diaz in front of the shortstop to leg it out for a hit, and then it looked like an off-speed pitch from Gonzalez that Devin catches out in front. He hit that one a mile.
First home run since May the 23rd, third of the season for Travis.
Watch the pitch. Off-speed pitch that comes right back in. Side. And he turned on it. His strength is to center and right center field, but you throw one of those inside there, he's got the ability to do that. Hit the ball deep.
You know, if you don't know that much about him, you see a number 9 hitter, a guy who's about 5'8". But this is what we've seen at times when he's been healthy. Obviously more doubles than homers, but a guy who can hit the ball with some authority. He's
got some juice in his bat. When he makes contact, it can go a long way. Again, his power is to right center field, but when he catches it out front, you can see how far he can hit it.
And Teoscar Hernandez will draw the walk.
Time it up. That's, I think, the only problem that he has had this season was the timing at the plate. And if he gets his at-bats, and he will get his at-bats, that timing will come around, and he'll start being the player that we saw last year in May was the best hitter on the team. And then injuries in the month of June, and that was his season.
So we're tied at 2 here in the bottom of the third, and Smoke hits a double play ball to short. The second one and on to first, and the Nationals will turn it.
Well, we've seen something tonight we haven't seen for 2 days down in Tampa. Blue Jays hitting an extra base hit. First the double by Smoke, and now the home run by Travis. The offense coming alive tonight.
Probably makes Aaron Sanchez feel a whole lot better about things. He's got really good stuff tonight, but the Nationals chipped away for a run on the first, a run on the second. 3 up, 3 down, third. And here's Solarte, who takes outside ball 1. So Solarte at third base again. Josh Donaldson, if you weren't with us earlier, didn't see Hazel's report, still not ready to come off the DL. And it's probably not imminent. Still hasn't run full speed. May wind up going out on a rehab assignment in Buffalo. So I think you can probably take away tomorrow and Sunday. I don't think we're going to see him this weekend.
I think it's getting to a point that he's been out for 2 weeks,
or about
3 weeks,
17 days now.
17 days.
Yeah.
Where you might have to go and get some at-bats just to test it. Run in a game situation. Running at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the field is a lot different than swinging the bat and running down the first base line. So they might want to see that for a couple of games, you know, 8 at-bats or so.
3-0 and a drive deep left field, and another home run. Second decker. Yangervis Solarte gives the Jays the lead.
This is becoming a habit for the Blue Jays. John Gibbons giving his batters the green light. And we had a chance to sit down with Gibby in Tampa Bay. We asked him about his theory about letting players hit 3-0, and he says it all depends on who the hitter is. It depends on who the pitcher is, who's coming up behind them. And I like guys swinging 3-0.
We've seen recently Martin hit a home run 3-0. I think Granderson hit a home run 3-0. The Jays are 7 for 13 with 6 homers when they put a 3-0 pitch in play this year.
You can sell out like Solarte does here. Sell out on that fastball. 3-0. It's 2-1. Well, the best answer we had was after the Granderson 3-0. We asked him, you know, what's your theory? You know, what do you tell yourself when you swing 3-0? He goes, I've been in the league a long time. And I just treat it like a 2-0 pitch. Don't think about 3-0. Just let it go. Good things are happening.
3-1 the count on Kendrys Morales. 2 homers and a 3-2 Blue Jay lead. And a poke the other way into the right field corner. Morales on his way to second. And in there in a slide with a double. And look at the smiles in the dugout as Morales had to leg that one out.
4 extra base hits now tonight for the Blue Jays after none in back-to-back games. A ball away. That's a much better at bat against Gonzalez's off-speed pitch away. Remember his first time up, grounded into a double play on the exact same pitch. Stays with this one, rips it off the wall to right field, legs it out for an extra base hit.
Getting back to the home runs, Tabby. Gonzalez came into the game tonight having given up only 5 homers in 13 games. This is the first time all year he's given up 2 home runs in a game. That guy hit the first one. Devin Travis, Solarte with a second. Concern for Dave Martinez. He's lost his first baseman already as well. Well, when you swing the bats well, just everybody's got more life. The dugout is so much more alive when they're doing good things with the bat. Here's Kevin Pillar trying to get in on the fun.
Remember, just 3 1/3 innings last time out for Gio Gonzalez against the Giants. They got him for 6 hits and 4 runs. His shortest outing of the season.
Well, he's really trying to get Pillar to go after that outside changeup and pull the ground ball. Thrown him 2. Got a call on the first. That one missed too far away. Fastball right down the middle, 1-2. Almost like he had him thinking changeup away on that pitch.
Yeah, that's where you just sit on one pitch, and if you get it, let it go. He's probably telling himself, don't throw that again or I'm going to hit it.
Curveball fouled off, so now Pillar's seen all 3 pitches that Gonzalez has here in this at bat. Morales, the base runner, out at second, 2 down, as Dave Martinez and his pitching coach Derek Lilliquist look on for the first base dugout. Man, that's a tough pitch to get a piece of right there.
High fastball. He could double up now. Another high fastball if he wants to. Pillar just fouls it back. Might have been ball 4, but you're thinking about driving in the run. And it's too close to take, 1-2.
There's the changeup, but he bounces it in, 2-2. First year at the helm of the Nationals for Dave Martinez. Got himself a good team. A lot of the first-time managers, Alex Cora, Boston, Aaron Boone, New York, inheriting very, very good teams. Fly ball left field. And Soto is there to end the inning. But it's a loud one for the Blue Jays. They hit not 1 but 2 home runs in the bottom of the 3rd. Devin Travis with his 3rd, a 2-run shot. Yangervis Solarte, number 13, and the Jays have the lead.
of baseball with MLB.tv. Watch baseball live or on demand on his favorite supported devices. Save 50% now through Father's Day. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Father's Day is Sunday. Don't forget, sons and daughters. Here's Mark Reynolds. His first at bat came on for the injured Matt Adams. Adams hurt his finger on a bunt attempt, kind of had his finger wrapped around the bat a little bit, took the pitch right off the knuckle. So Reynolds, who signed late, signed during the season. Zimmerman on the DL, as Tabby mentioned, and Reynolds the kind of guy who really struggled to find a contract. The low average, high home run, big strikeout guys had trouble finding work this offseason, and that's what a Reynolds is. Just a .238 career hitter. Tons of strikeouts, tons of power, though. And last year with Colorado, hit 30 homers, drove in 97, hit .267, a good average for him. Now, a lot of that is Colorado, or some of that is Colorado, of course, but he couldn't find work.
He had a 44 home run season when he was with Arizona, drove in 100 runs. I don't know what they were waiting for. This guy's been a spark for this team since they put him into the lineup after the injury to Zimmerman. He can change a game with one swing because of that power.
Full count on him to start the fourth. Blue Jays up 3-2. And ball four. Second walk given up tonight by Sanchez.
The diverse Civic family, our most powerful lineup yet. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
First game of three between the Nationals and the Blue Jays. Dan Shulman and Pat Tabler, Hazel May. Blue Jays 3, Nationals 2. Travis and Solarte have homered. And here's Juan Soto up for the second time. Doubled off the center field wall his first time up.
Here's another thing I like about this kid when I watch him and I look at his numbers. And I know it's a small sample size, 65 at bats, more walks than strikeouts. You don't see that a lot from young kids coming up to the major leagues.
12 walks, 11 strikeouts so far, on base percentage of .455. And again, just 19, which makes it natural to think about and made it a point of conversation in John Gibbons' office before the game about the 19-year-old the Blue Jays have in their system. Of course, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is injured right now, so that kind of puts the brakes on a lot of that talk for now. Soto's about 5 months older than Guerrero. One's a left-handed batter, one's right, one's an outfielder, one's a third baseman. But if you look at Soto's numbers in the minors this year, tremendously impressive numbers.
They look like Guerrero's, don't they?
Yeah. Look at him hunkering down now with a 1-2. Didn't help him, but a definite two-strike approach. He was asking if that ball was a strike. Swinging a foul tip, one down. Fourth strikeout for Sanchez.
You like to see that with young players, that two-strike approach, but he's going to come up empty. The Super Slow-Mo is brought to you by the Samsung S9 and S9 Plus, the camera reimagined. Available now. Spread out just a little bit more, crouch just a little bit more, choke up on the bat, and cut down your swing.
Pretty unusual for a young hitter. Here's Wilmer Defoe. Soto hit .362, by the way, at 3 combined stops this year. A, high A, double A. So the equivalent, if he were in the Blue Jays organization, that would mean Lansing to Dunedin to New Hampshire. The equivalent of that. And didn't spend more than a couple of weeks at any stop. Look at Defoe choking up. He's always like this. And what should be a routine fly ball for Pilar, 2 down. Aaron Sanchez with 4 strikeouts through 3 2/3, 2 walks. Given up a couple of runs, but I don't know how you feel, Tabby. Attacking more. This is more of a power Aaron Sanchez than I think we've seen at any point this season.
Different than the one we saw in April when he was establishing the changeup, using his changeup more, used his curveball just a little bit more in his last start. That was against Baltimore.
Tonight it's a whole lot of old number one. Whether it's the two-seamer or the four-seamer, use both.
Here it is. Let's see what you can do with it. He still has that. That's the impressive part. When you can throw like that, you still have the changeup and that hard curveball in your back pocket when you need it.
Reynolds at first with 2 down. And a 1-1 count on Severino, who hit a soft line drive off the glove of Diaz in the left field for an RBI single back in the second. There's the changeup there, and we haven't seen a ton of them tonight, but over the course of the season we've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, he's using it at 26.3% of the time, which is third most in the American League. To put that in perspective, last season, I know he didn't pitch a lot because of the finger issue, but he was only 6.7%. About 4 times more the usage this year, trying to become a little bit more of a complete pitcher.
I think sometimes we forget he's still only 25. He'll be 26 in a couple of weeks, but he's still a young pitcher.
And they missed a lot of the season, basically the whole year last year, because whenever he pitched, he was hurt.
Strike 3 called. Inside corner with the knees, number 5 for Sanchez.
From the game. Check out new episodes of A Swing and a Belt with Dan Shulman every Thursday through the baseball season. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
And this week, Hazel, I haven't done the interview, but I caught the big fish, since we're looking at the lake. Lined up Tabby for a spot on the podcast coming up.
It hasn't happened just yet.
It hasn't happened. We're working out the terms.
Your people are talking to my people.
I think we'll get it done. I'm confident. 3-2. The Blue Jays lead the Nationals going to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Russell Martin, Randall Grichuk, and Aledmus Diaz. First pitch swinging, ground ball to short. 1 down. That'll bring up Randall Grichuk. Grichuk grounded out his first time up. Talked to Grichuk. He's on this week's podcast. Talked to him because his dad coached him from age 5 up through age 14. And that's kind of a unique situation, especially when you're Grichuk. You can imagine as a kid, you're the guy, you're the best player on the team, probably. I mean, you grow up and become a major league ball player, but he said his dad could be pretty tough on him. And they had rules. The homework had to be done 100% of the time, or you're not going to the ballpark to play. as he lines up the center field.
Well, he did something right. He became a #1 draft pick and a major leaguer. I have to ask him what position he played. Shortstop. That's where they put the good athletes.
Shortstop or center field. We know that.
Yeah.
2 down in a hurry here in the bottom of the 4th. And it's Aledmus Diaz, who had an infield hit, then came around to score on the Travis home run last inning. And quickly 0-2.
It's like he lost his elbow pad on that swing. We ran into him in the clubhouse today and asked him how his feet were feeling after fouling a ball off of his right knee and his left foot. He said, "I'd never done that in my life."
The right knee one.
Hit the ball off my back knee, my right knee. But he was getting around okay. The off day helped.
Yep. Had a little extra tape on that left ankle before the game. And he's got himself a base hit. Diaz 2 for 2.
What you can't do is give up on that curveball because it's a big one. It's not that, you know, they call it 12-6 from top to bottom. It's more like a long slider with a big break of the slider. And as a right-handed batter, you can't give up on it. You can see how far out Gio Gonzalez starts that curveball, way outside. So a righty stays with it, stayed back on it, ripped it into left field. He can't believe he hit it.
Yeah, made a pretty good pitch, gave up a base hit. Here's Travis, who homered on the first pitch he saw last time up.
Gio Gonzalez has had a lot of success in his career against the Blue Jays. He has one of the lowest opponent's batting average all time pitching against the Blue Jays. Tonight they've reached him for 6 hits already.
As you said earlier, 4 of them for extra bases. That's okay. 2-0 right on the corner.
Yeah, you're looking for one pitch in one area.
Right.
2-0. And he didn't get it. So go ahead and take it. Unless it's a mistake, I don't think he's coming inside against him the rest of the game.
Same pitch as the last one. Ground ball to second, and that'll be all for the Jays here in the 4th. They're up 3-2. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here are Jamie Campbell and Joe Siddall in the Samsung broadcast studio. And the Yankees on Sportsnet 1 at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Luis Severino will start for the Yankees, and I know this is going to come as a shock. The Rays are TBD right now.
A bullpen day?
It'd probably be Ryan Stanek, I guess, or Sergio Romo, or somebody like that.
Yarbrough.
Yep.
Ryan Yarbrough up against Luis Severino, the hardest thrower in Major League Baseball in terms of miles per hour, but he's much more than that. I mean, he's on his way to possibly winning the Cy Young the way he's been throwing.
Major league debut for the Yankees tonight. With a couple of pitchers on the deal. When Tanaka went on the deal, they called up Jonathan Loaizaga from Double-A, and he's making his major league debut against Tampa Bay tonight, and he's throwing shutout balls so far into the 4th inning.
They optioned Tyler Austin to the minor leagues after the game last night.
Did Drury come back up? They've been playing Drury at first base down in the minors. So. Top of the order here, 3-2. Blue Jays lead the Nationals. Aaron Sanchez threw 4, 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And a ground ball down to 3rd. Solarte on to smoke, 1 down.
Take on any project with Home Hardware, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's how.
Lots for sale at the Jays shop here at Rogers Center. Lots of lids and lots of different colors and styles. Here's Trey Turner, retired on a couple of ground ball outs. Not this time, though, as he bounces it into center field for a base hit. And this is a guy you really got to keep an eye on the base paths.
19 for 20 in stolen bases. They already have 1 stolen base tonight, and it got them a run. Bryce Harper stole second base with 2 outs, scored on that bloop single. Even though he's running, if you will, in front of Bryce Harper, they let him go.
Turner is tied for 2nd in the big leagues in steals, with D. Gordon just 1 back of Ender Inciarte, whom the Blue Jays will see Tuesday and Wednesday when the Atlanta Braves come to town. Shift on for Harper. Good lead for Turner, and he'll draw a throw. This is going to be a test.
Well, that's the one thing you really like to do. I think if you're Trey Turner, you don't face Aaron Sanchez very often. Get out there as far as you can and draw a throw. Let's take a look at his throw over to first base. It's a good lead.
Not going. And a strike to Harper. Harper has walked and struck out tonight.
"12 feet is an aggressive lead at first base, and he's getting out there.
What was a Rajay Davis lead?
That I couldn't tell you.
More than 12.
But it was more than 12.
He could get out there.
He'd get out there, but he had the confidence to dive back. I think that's what it takes to take a big lead like that, to have the confidence that you can read the pitcher when he's coming over to first base, and you can dive and get back. Here's another guy that we played against, Ricky Henderson, who had he would have huge leads.
Yeah.
And he always got back. I don't know how he did it.
Stat that'll never be broken, record that'll never be broken. Ricky stole 130 bases in 1982. Strike 3 call. Just enough movement on that 2-seamer to bring it back over the inside corner, at least in the opinion of the home plate umpire, James Hoy.
Second time that they got Bryce Harper. He walked in the first inning and scored after stealing a base. Last 2 times up, though, Aaron Sanchez has fed him nothing but fastballs. Movement right on the corner to get the strikeout. That's 6 of them tonight.
This has got to be his highest fastball percentage game of the season. 2 down, and here's another tough out in Anthony Rendon. 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the first, and can't forget about Turner.
It looks like Aaron has taken a page out of Jay Happ's book and using that fastball.
Well, if he's going, may as well go now. 1-0. Go early in the count. Give Rendon something to work with
And he's not afraid to take a strike, Rendon. He'll give you a pitch if you want to try and steal and get into scoring position for you.
Draws another throw.
He's getting back easy. Now
Which means he's not out there far enough.
And that's not Aaron's best move right there. Even if it was, he can take another step.
Still not going. Out of play, 2-1. Now this is third time through the order for Aaron Sanchez, and these numbers are not that atypical. A lot of guys have this where they do very well against the first time, and this is why you don't see pitchers going as deep into games and teams using their bullpens more than ever before.
It happens, but I think the adjustment has to be on the pitcher. Start making better pitches, and you'll get outs.
There he goes. What a jump. I mean, a walking lead right into a sprint, and no chance for Martin to even throw. That's stolen base number 20 for Turner.
He timed it up perfectly. Watch Aaron. He's going to hold the ball. And at times when you're a runner at first base, you count 1001, 1002, and if he keeps doing that and going on 1003, just time him up like that. Count yourself and take off.
Meanwhile, 3-1 on Rendon. And a base hit into right field. Grichuk up with it. Turner's going to be held because the ball was hit so hard and right at Grichuk.
That is the read on the third base coach. He's got to see where the ball is. If the ball is in the glove of the outfielder before the runner gets to the bag, he's got to hold him up. This shot should tell you that. He's lining it up, and you can see he's a full step from third base when Grichuk has the ball in his glove. That has nothing to do with the speed because he's got outstanding speed. It's just the ball was hit so hard and played perfectly by Grichuk.
So a bit of a break there for a guy as fast as Turner not to be able to score when he's at second with 2 out on a base hit. Now could Sanchez and the Blue Jays take advantage of that by getting Daniel Murphy? Oh, 0-1. Nationals have done their damage, a lot of it with 2 outs in this game. They scored a run with 2 outs in the first, scored their other run with 2 outs in the second. They're 3 for 4 tonight with the runners in scoring position and 2 outs in this game. But it's the Blue Jays who have the lead.
Murphy's last game before coming back from that microfracture surgery was Game 5 of the NLDS last fall. You know who he played against? Dave Martinez, who was a bench coach for the Chicago Cubs.
Gets away from Martin, and the wild pitch will tie the game.
That's why you don't want to run to an out when the ball is into the outfield. There's other ways to score. This ball, Russell can't come up with it. It's so far out in front of him. He tries to backhand it. And with Turner's speed at third base, he's going to score without a play.
Up to second on the wild pitch, Rendon. 2-1 on Murphy.
He's staying right in on his hands there. Russell set up on the outside part of the plate, and it came back to the inside part of the plate. Couldn't shuffle his body over there to try and get another piece of it. He tried to backhand it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And an always dangerous hitter, Daniel Murphy. Inside of the knees, a full count. Base open, Mark Reynolds on deck.
You know, he's going to get a large secondary lead out at second. Rendon on the pitch, and he's off on the crack of the bat.
High in the air to right field, but it's playable for Grichuk. And that's all for the Nats in the top of the 5th. A wild pitch has tied it. It's 3-3.
Year's first-year player draft, including first-round draft pick number 12 overall shortstop Jordan Groshans. The Jays also signed Groshans' Magnolia, Texas high school teammate and best friend, third-rounder righty Adam Koffenstein. Groshans said the two have known each other since 5th grade, and it's been nice having a familiar face around going through this entire process. Groshans is beginning his Jays career at the Dunedin complex, where Troy Tulowitzki is rehabbing. Groshans said Tulo has been giving him advice from swing mechanics to fielding to the mental approach to the game. And Dan, worth mentioning, 2nd-round pick Griffin Conine, son of Jeff Conine, has not yet signed, and the Jays have until July 6th to do so.
All right, hoping they get that done, Hazel. Thank you. Some other high-round picks, including their 4th-rounder, Sean Weimer, who has signed. He is part of the Vancouver Canadians, who are beginning their season tonight. Short season A-ball. They're in Eugene tonight. So wishing the Canadians the best of luck this year.
Just starting out, 18 years old, down in Florida. Get used to being in Florida. You're there a long time when you're a young player. But I'll tell you, I had a chance to sit down with Ross Atkins today, and he was beaming about some of the draft picks that they were able to pick up in the draft last week. Those two that Hazel just did the story on were 2 of the guys he was really excited about.
Yeah, and if you talk to Ross Atkins or Mark Shapiro, say earlier this year, and you say, how do you like the farm system? They would say, it's getting there, it's coming along, as Hernandez skies one into left field. But they both felt there was more work to be done. It would take another draft, another year, that sort of thing. And you just can't have enough good prospects, whether there's something you use for trades or whether they're just the future. And obviously there's going to be a lot of turnover on this team in the next couple of years. There are a lot of older players right now, and you can't have enough good young players to try to fill out a baseball.
And it's starting to turn around. I think it's going to take a couple of more years. The important thing is getting the players, okay? I think even more importantly, developing them. Why is it that certain organizations can get players and develop them and make major league players? They're doing something right in their system. If it's coaching, if it's playing, whatever it is, you have to be able to develop them. And I think the Blue Jays are doing a good job lately of developing players and pushing them through their system. The next thing that's really important, I think, is when you get them and you're developing them, to make sure that they are ready for the major leagues. And by that I mean, if they come to the major leagues and they don't have success right away, do they have a way to go back to something that they learned in the minor leagues that can help them turn it around? A lot of times you bring young guys to the major leagues and they're overwhelmed and they're never the same.
Smoke down on strikes, 2 down as we check in with Jamie. Well, until tonight, as Jamie mentioned, a crazy streak over 40 innings without allowing a walk for Corey Kluber. Solarte lines one to right center field, going to get down for a base hit and over the head of Harper. Backed up by Eaton and Solarte into second base.
There's the unfamiliarity of playing on turf. There's only 2 in baseball, Tampa and here. So when players come in here, you got to take your share of fly balls, watch it bounce off of the turf. What you can't do is get too close to it. You got to make a decision right away. If you can't catch it, to back off and keep that guy at first base. Harper gets a little bit too close. It bounces over his head. Good play by Eaton, backing that thing up, keeping it in front of him, or that's to the wall, and maybe 3 for Solarte.
So it goes as a double for Solarte. And with 2 down and a runner in scoring position, here's Kendrys Morales. Morales doubled his last time up, took an outside pitch the other way, and lined it into the right field corner.
Make those adjustments. That's what he did. He grounded out his first time up to shortstop. Took the same pitch the other way. If he does that now, he's going to have an RBI.
A couple of good takes on some changeups just off the outside corner. 7 hits now for the Blue Jays, 5 extra base hits in a 3-3 tie here in the bottom of the 5th. (3-0). Well, here's that count we were talking about. Solarte homered on 3-0 earlier tonight, making the Blue Jays 7 for 13 with 6 home runs this year when they put a 3-0 pitch in play. And a strike. And again, that's okay. It's right on the corner. If you don't like it, don't swing it.
And it wasn't a fastball.
Yeah.
81 miles an hour.
Chased one outside. It's a full count. A little over anxious there.
That's okay. You know, you got a runner out there to try and drive him in, and you want to drive him in if you feel like you can handle that pitch. No problem. That looked like the same pitch he doubled down the right field line in his last at bat.
(3-2).
I never had problems with my number 4 hitter, and that's what Morales is doing tonight, expanding his strike zone a little bit more when there's runners in scoring position. He's obviously hitting 4th for a reason in John Gibbons' lineup. He feels like he can knock in runs.
Tony La Russa, Hall of Fame manager, used to call it selectively aggressive. There are certain times to be more aggressive, and when you can drive somebody in, that was, in La Russa's mind, one of those times. Right center field, long run for Eaton, but he's there, and the Blue Jays will leave Solarte aboard. And to 5, tied at 3. Here at Rogers Center, Dan Schulman and Pat Tabler, Hazel May. Happy Father's Day weekend to all the dads out there. A lot of them in attendance here tonight at Rogers Center. Tied at 3. Blue Jays 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Nationals 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The numbers for Aaron Sanchez: 89 pitches through 5, about to face the bottom part of the lineup, 6, 7, 8 at least. Nobody up in the Blue Jay bullpen. And you know John Gibbons would love for Sanchez to get through this inning. I don't know that he'd let him go around to the top of the order for a 4th time, but he'd love to have him get through the bottom part right here.
Yeah, and if you have to push him a little bit past 100 pitches, that's basically where he starts to go to his bullpen. But if you have to go 102, 105 to get through this inning, I think it's imperative you do that.
Sanchez's highest 2 pitch totals his last 2 starts. Change up there and a swing and a miss for strikeout number 7. Sanchez threw 100 pitches against Detroit 2 starts ago, 101 against Baltimore, and number 92 here tonight was a pretty nasty change.
Yeah, look at the movement that he gets off of that changeup, down and in. Got to change speeds for that against that big home run hitter.
Curveball flies up and away for ball 1 to Juan Soto. We have seen Soto double and score. We've also seen him strike out tonight. That curve a little bit high, 2-0.
Aaron came into this game against left-handed batters, giving up a batting average up over 300. He's done a good job against lefties tonight. 6 of them in the lineup to start for Washington, and he's handled them nicely.
He got Soto to go after a high fastball, came up empty, 2-1. Dave Martinez, a little healthy juice over there in the first base dugout. That's how you get to look so fit as he does. Little inside, 3-1.
He has been able to stay in on those left-handed batters with that hard fastball, that 2-seamer. Murphy and Harper.
He's getting way more swings and misses tonight than he has in a typical start this year. More attacking with the fastball.
More attacking. 4-seamer.
How about this? This is just unusual in baseball these days. Sanchez is at 98 pitches. Not that he's in there. Nobody's even throwing.
Well, maybe Gibby told him. They said, you got the 6th inning.
Yeah.
You get it. It's all you. They got some stretching going on.
Jams him with a ground ball. Travis is going to have to hurry, and he'll get him.
This 4K broadcast is brought to you by the Samsung QLED TV. See nothing else.
He has been in on those lefties, and you get a lot of broken bat, slow rollers. Evan Travis made a great play earlier tonight to rob Murphy of a hit. Get Soto on that slow roller.
So 2 down and the base is empty for Wilmer Defoe, who's grounded out and flied out. ...101 pitches, 64 strikes, 37 balls. Pretty good ratio. We've seen Sanchez struggle with that ratio at times, but if he can do that every start, he's going to have success.
Yeah, he's building on his last 2 starts. A win at Detroit, no decision against Baltimore. Pitched into the 7th inning, just gave up 2 earned runs, but picked up a no decision.
And Xianhuan Oh is now throwing. Two and 2. strike three called. Says James Hoy. Wilmer Defoe didn't like it at all. But it's number 8 for Sanchez on quite possibly his last pitch of the night. Blue Jays baseball partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. Aaron Sanchez liking that last pitch to get out of the top of the 6th, probably done for the night.
Now let's get him a run so he can win his first game here.
Tied a season high with 8 strikeouts. Sanchez 3-3 tie, bottom 6. Pilar, Martin, Grichuk.
If you want to get something going here, the right side of the infield is way back. We've seen Kevin start to push balls with the bunt.
Here comes Turner. He juggled that just for a moment, but he'll get Pilar one down.
There's a tricky little hop right at the end there for the shortstop, but he handled it nicely. He's got good hands and quick feet. Quick hands. You can see him shaking his head after this ball right off the end of the bat for Pilar. Let's see if it hits something there, right on the dirt, and it came up on him. So that messed up his timing fielding the ground ball. Didn't catch it cleanly, but makes the play nonetheless.
Russell Martin, the battery's 0 for 2. And a strike 1-1 on Martin.
Russell's always been a guy who sees a lot of pitches, works the count, goes deep.
Nothing going on in the Nationals pen right now. Gonzalez at 85 pitches through 5 1/3.
That's right at his average too. He's averaging almost 18 pitches per inning.
It's a little bit higher than you'd like.
Yep, just a little bit. He's had a base runner on in every inning but the second.
And Martin will draw the walk. Quick timeout now for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in theaters June 22nd.
Gonzalez looking out, surveying the situation up at the scoreboard in center field. It is tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 6th, and the Blue Jays have a man on with 1 out for Randall Grichuk, who has grounded out and lined out to center field tonight. That's the one you got to lay off. That changeup just off the outside corner.
You got to tell yourself to lay off it. You know, one thing you could do is get on the plate. If you're a right-handed batter, get on the plate and almost dare Gonzalez to come inside.
Tried to come inside, left it out over the plate, but Grichuk pops it up for Defoe. And the second out. So Martin at first with 2 down. And Gonzalez will face Aledmus Diaz as Derek Lilliquist is on the phone to get somebody up in the pen. Kind of the same situation. Bottom of the order, 3rd time through, 6th inning, same as Sanchez had. Just Sanchez's pitch count a little bit higher than Gonzalez.
Strikeouts had something to do with that. Running up that pitch count. Gonzalez only has 3 strikeouts tonight.
And Diaz takes outside again. Left-hander Matt Grace is up in the pen. The Nationals have 4 lefties in their bullpen. 8 relievers, 4 lefties, 4 righties.
Lots of options for Davey Martinez and Derek Lilliquist.
Some good takes by Diaz. Does he have the green light 3-0?
He better. He better have the green light. Just think about hitting the ball hard, not far, just hit it hard.
Low strike call, 3-1. Gonzalez not throwing fastballs, 3-0. Not giving in, knowing the Blue Jay hitters might be swinging. Right center field, Eaton there though. And that's all for the Jays. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. End of 6. Tied at 3. As Gonzalez makes his way off the field, here comes Hyun-Hwan Oh. Aaron Sanchez done for the night. Sanchez line for the night, 6 innings, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. And again, if you were with us in the 1st and 2nd inning, each time the run scored on really what was kind of a soft base hit, you can make a pretty good case he pitched better than this line suggests. That this again was progress for Aaron Sanchez.
Yes, it was. 3 softly hit balls early on, giving him a couple of runs. So all of that, and he'll get a no decision. Hyun-Hwan Oh will take over 31 games this year. He has only given up a run in 6 of them. He has dropped that ERA down to 3.52. It's the lowest it has been for about 3 weeks. Last time out, good inning against Tampa Bay.
He starts off with the number 9 hitter, the catcher Pedro Severino. Then back to the top of the order and into the teeth of the offense, Adam Eaton, Trey Turner, and if anybody reaches, Bryce Harper.
He last worked a couple of days ago in Tampa in that Tampa series. Good fastball. He followed up Jay Happ. Pitched the 6th inning after Jay threw 5. Had a couple of strikeouts.
Little squibber by the mound. Here comes Travis, and Severino out by a step. Meanwhile, in the bullpen, right-hander John Axford, left-hander Aaron Loop. Here's where the Nationals lineup is tricky. Eaton is a left-handed batter. Turner hits right. Harper left. Rendon right. Murphy left. The left-handed batters are all quality hitters, all hit lefties pretty well, and they're spaced out. 1, 3, 5 in the lineup. So if you're John Gibbons, when do you decide to use Aaron Loop? Is Harper the guy you use him for?
What you don't want to do is get painted in a corner and use him for just one batter. If you've decided he's going to be your left, because he's your only lefty in the bullpen, you better find the right matchup that you need in the game. You don't want to burn him for just one batter.
That means having him face a righty, though, to get to another lefty because of the way the Washington lineup sets up.
If they can get the Nationals this inning 1, 2, 3, then it's Harper, Rendon, Murphy. That's when you pitch Aaron Loop, where he's going to face 2 batters, 2 left-handed batters. He's not going to pinch hit for any of those guys.
Oh, and 2, the count remains on Eaton, who's 1 for 3 on the night. 4 straight scoreless appearances for O. Oh, Eaton down after fouling that ball off his foot or his leg and getting a helping hand up from Russell Martin.
It's a good breaking ball. At times he gets on the side and he doesn't get the movement. Watch how much this ball moves, and it's a late breaker. The only thing Eaton can do is foul it right off of his foot.
Ooh, even worse.
The shin.
Yeah, inside of the right leg. Got him. 2 down.
At the Honda checkered flag event, the real victory lap is the drive home.
Seventh inning here at Rogers Center with Pat Tabler, Hazel May. I'm Dan Schulman. A 3-3 tie between the Blue Jays and the Washington Nationals. 2 down on the bases empty for Trey Turner. Grounded out each of his first 2 times up. Last time up, a base hit, stole a base, took third on a base hit, and then scored on a wild pitch to tie the game. Washington at 37-28, second place in the NL East, a game and a half back of the Atlanta Braves.
He's thrown 13 pitches, 11 of them strikes. This is what you want coming out of the bullpen. Attack. His fastball's a little bit better. 94. He's up to 94 with it, and his breaking ball seems to be a little bit better.
A lot of the Nationals have seen him from those 2 years with St. Louis. This one will get back out of play just to our right. And activity now in the Washington pen, and this guy has been lights out lately. Justin Miller. Like nobody touching him. Long hesitation by O. And a jam shot ground ball down to third. Solarte up with it. That's a really good inning for Xianhuan O. 1, 2, 3. Go the Nats. Top 7. Top of the 7th, and in his first at bat tonight back in the 3rd, first pitch he saw, better than 102 miles per hour off the bat, several rows back into the 100 level out in left field for his 3rd home run of the season.
First home run since May the 23rd. That was against the Angels. Pitch on the inner half, and his timing is starting to come around. When you start to see him bang balls back through the middle like we did down in Tampa, you know he's starting to get right.
And the Blue Jays have gone away from the 2-on, 1-off plan that they had Travis on before he was sent down to the minors. He's playing just about every day right now. That's a base hit into right field, as he goes the other way for a leadoff single.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. The camera we imagine. Available now.
Devin Travis's strength is the other way. He's got great plate coverage. He's on that pitch. Looks like it might have been off the plate, but he's got enough on it to hit it to right field. Good start in the 7th.
So tie game, leadoff man aboard. The batter Teoscar Hernandez 0 for 2 with a walk. And Gonzalez landing a little bit awkwardly after he threw that pitch, and now checking out the mound.
Teoscar's got outstanding power. Tonight, they have kept everything away from him. Soft stuff away. There's another one. Last time up, he just missed a pitch. He ended up flying out to left field, but he just missed the pitch. He's got to recognize it out of Gonzalez's hand now. Don't get too anxious.
Now this is interesting because Gibby's not quite as likely to give the younger hitters the green light on 3-0. They kind of need to earn his trust that they won't chase a bad pitch.
That's true. But it's a tie score.
Yep.
Taken all the way. And you've got a home run hitter at the plate.
Change up, change up, change up, change up.
Yeah, they're going to keep doing that. When you start hitting balls out of the ballpark, they're not just going to keep feeding you fastballs. Good change up down and away.
Gonzalez throwing over, thinking maybe there's a chance that Travis is going to be in motion on the 3-2 pitch. Gonzalez talking to himself out there, waiting for the sign.
See how hard it is for him to stay back? And nothing but off-speed pitches. You got to see it out of his hand before you make your stride.
High in the air down the right field line. Eaton couldn't find it. And it skips over the fence for an automatic double. Eaton lost it in the sky, and the Blue Jays catch a huge break.
You know, you look up at twilight and the background is the same color as the baseball. If you look back down and then try to pick it back up, you're not going to pick it up. That ball kept carrying. He looks over there. He can't find it. And by the time he realizes where the ball is, there he throws his hands up. He has no idea. It's over his head. Blue Jays catch a huge break. Second and third, nobody out, and they've got to go to the pen.
Infielders talking about the sky as Gio Gonzalez makes his way out of the game. Justin Miller coming in with the Blue Jays, threatening to take the lead. From one of TD's community partners. Well, huge break for the Blue Jays. The end result, second and third, nobody out. Dave Martinez going to his bullpen and check out the numbers on Justin Miller.
Yeah, in just 8 games, he was called up on May the 26th. He's faced 34 batters in just 10 2/3 innings. He's retired 32 of those 34 batters with 21 strikeouts. Hasn't allowed a run, hasn't allowed a walk since being called up. He stands on the mound and really hides the ball well. Basically fastball slider. And Dave Martinez needs some strikeouts now. Infield in, second and third, nobody out.
For Justin Smoak, who turns around to the left side. And drives the pitch to right field. Eaton setting up. Travis tagging, coming home. Throw will be cut to third. Hernandez as well. Sac fly, 4-3 Jays.
Situational hitting by the Jays. Justin Smoak gets the first pitch to his liking, and Smokey doesn't wait around. He gets him over and he gets him in. Gets that runner at second base to third, scores the runner on the sacrifice fly, RBI number 34. And a chance for Solarte.
Yep, by getting him to third, one down, Solarte can try to do the same thing. Solarte tonight 2 for 3, including a home run back in the third. So Travis with a base hit coming in on the sac fly by Smoke. Hernandez at third, one down, and the Blue Jays really trying to take advantage of the big break that they have received here this inning.
Miller stands over on the third base side of the pitching rubber and closes off that front side. When he comes set, really hides the ball and is nasty. Look at that. As a hitter, that's all you're seeing until his arm comes through it and the ball's on its way.
Previous major league experience with the Tigers and the Rockies, and Gio Gonzalez, the victim of a little bad luck here this inning. That ball that Eaton lost in the sky. So Eaton's had trouble with the sky, and Harper had trouble with the turf earlier in this game.
Great numbers for Miller. He was released last year by the Angels. Comes over here and is lighting it up.
(3-1). High and deep to right field. And Solarte has done it again. His second home run of the night extends the lead.
Trying to smooth out that swing. Well, tonight he has smoothed it out. One from the right side, one from the left side. When you've got a runner at third base, less than 2 outs, you're trying to get the ball in the air. So your swing path is to get the ball in the air. And he got it into the seats.
First run, I'm sorry, Tabby. First run given up by Justin Miller all season. Jan Hervis being Jan Hervis. And you can see the different moods in the two dugouts right now. The Blue Jays with 3 here in the bottom of the 7th to reclaim the lead.
He will supply the power. You just be on time, and that's what he does. You can see that swing plane, the arc of the bat getting the ball in the air. That's what you try to do.
4th career multi-home run game for Solarte. First as a Blue Jay.
One from the right side, this one from the left side, and it's a no-doubter. Don't have to worry about the sky on that one.
3 home runs tonight for the Blue Jays, 2 for Solarte, 1 for Travis. And that look kind of says it all, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Blue Jays got a break, and they took advantage of it. Out of play. Wasn't a whole lot of smiling down in St. Petersburg at the Trop as the Jays got swept by Tampa Bay and scored only 5 runs in the series. They got more runs tonight than they had in the whole 3-game series down there.
They didn't hit with runners in scoring position on Wednesday, 0 for 7. Didn't hit the home runs. There's Marcus Stroman in town before he heads out to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, right? Yes, going to make a rehab start at AA New Hampshire on Monday. He started in Dunedin on Wednesday and went 4 1/3. So he'll start in New Hampshire Monday and see how that goes and what the next step is for him after that.
It's time to fire up your senses. Your best experience begins with Broil King. Available at your local home hardware. Here's how.
So Stroman hopefully getting closer to rejoining the team, getting back in the rotation.
4 1/3 innings, I believe, in his start in Dunedin.
Yep.
Felt pretty good. Scheduled to start on Monday. Let's see. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Does that sound right? Or Sunday in Los Angeles, if all goes well. They got to get him to 90 pitches. You have to get him to 90 pitches. I know he's fighting it. I know he wants to get back up here as soon as possible. But you got to get him to 90 pitches so the next time out he can get you 100.
Josh Donaldson not ready yet. Trying to increase that running progression is the term that we've been hearing. The running progression, but unable to go all out on the bases just yet. Steve Pearce, by the way, starting a rehab assignment at Buffalo tomorrow. As Harper comes on and makes the catch. Pilar retired, and that's all for the Blue Jays. But it is 6-3 Blue Jays as Yangervis Solarte just staring down the Nationals tonight. All-star lineup. How about drives of the game?
Yeah, we got to put an S on the end of that because of this. Yangervis Solarte with his first home run of the night. That was in the 3rd inning. And then does one better. Just last inning, 2-run home run gave the Blue Jays the lead. The drives of the game tonight brought to you by Yangervis Solarte. That's 14 of them now, and he's got 40 RBIs for the Jays this season. What a pleasant surprise. He's putting together an all-star type of first half for Toronto.
And the Blue Jays have themselves a lead going to the 8th inning. And with the Bryce Harper coming up, John Gibbons has summoned his lone lefty, Aaron Loup.
This is just how we drew it up last inning. You got 2 of the next 3 batters hitting left-handed, so Aaron Loup into the ballgame for the 32nd time this season. 370 earned run average. 31 games, but he's only worked 24 in the 3rd innings. That's a lefty specialist right there.
So I think the question is, does he get just Harper, or is it Harper, Rendon, and then another lefty in Murphy? We'll see how John Gibbons decides to play it.
I think with them scoring the 3 runs, he's got the 3 batters.
Harper a walk and a couple of strikeouts. Jammed him and a foul off left side, 0-1. If John Gibbons decides to go to a righty, it's going to be John Axford. Harper hitting just .207 against lefties this year. Mind you, hitting just .222 overall.
Pound him. Pound him fastballs up. Aaron is working on a nice little 4-game appearance where he hasn't given up a run. He's used his fastball very effectively.
And you wonder with Harper, are they pitching around him? Is that why the average is low? Is he's normally he's a very disciplined hitter, but is he getting a little frustrated, chasing balls out of the zone. Just unusual to see him with a batting average so low. Still productive with the power. Little flare, and it's going to drop. Well, just an inside out kind of chop at the baseball, and he winds up with a base hit. And there's our answer. So John Gibbons would rather have Axford face a lefty than Loup face a righty. And instead of giving Loup 3 batters, he gives him just 1 as Axford's on his way in.
This is his 30th game with this appearance. That's 4 relievers now out of that bullpen with at least 30 appearances for the Blue Jays in the first 69 games. Danny Barnes has also pitched in 29 games. Axford 1-0, 398 earned run average. You bring him in here with that power sinker, hoping to get a ground ball here. 2 for the price of 1.
Anthony Rendon is 2 for 3. Couple of base hits to right field, and he's driven in a run. Fair ball past a diving Solarte down the line. And it'll be a double for Rendon, and all of a sudden the Nationals have runners at second and third with nobody out.
He had faced Axford just 1 time in the past and got a hit off of him. Didn't waste any time. They got the ground ball, but the ground ball was out of the reach of Solarte. There's the 2-seamer. Look at the movement down and in, and he tops it. And unfortunately for the Blue Jays, it's not at somebody. It's down the line for extra bases.
Blue Jays have the infield back with the exception of Solarte, who's kind of even with the bag right now. They will concede a run to get it out. They want to stay out of the big inning and just maintain this lead. Daniel Murphy is the batter. Murphy tonight 0 for 3, 0 for 10 since coming off the DL. And another soft liner for a base hit. In to score is Harper. Up to third goes Rendon. And man, oh man, killing him softly right now. A soft liner, ground ball down the line, another soft line drive. And Axford is in the soup right now. It's 6-4.
He gets another sinker, gets it off the end of the bat, but Murphy, too good of a hitter. Gets enough wood just to flare it out into the outfield. Keep the line moving as Harper scores. He's a good hitter. They've got good hitters everywhere. You got that young kid on deck, the lefty. And the Blue Jays have already used their lone left-handed reliever.
Ryan Madsen, Sean Kelly, both up in the Washington pen. And Danny Barnes starting to throw in the Blue Jays pen.
Pinch
and
runner.
A pinch runner at first base for Murphy. That's Taylor, right? Michael A. Taylor, very fast. They're done a lot of time in center field this year. Tremendously fast player. As Murphy's got his first hit and first RBI of the season.
Well, we told you they like to run. Taylor can run too. 17 for 21 in stolen bases. He represents the tying run over at first base.
So first and third, still nobody out, and the lead is down to 2 for Mark Reynolds, who has walked and struck out since coming on for the injured Matt Adams. And it sounds like an excuse, and it's not, but there have been 5 soft base hits for the Nationals tonight. I mean, they say that things even out, the breaks even out, but the Nats are finding some holes.
And they
right
all
now.
count.
Yep. Chance to turn 2. And they will. 6-4-3 on the double play. A run comes in to score. 6-5. I think that's a trade the Blue Jays will take, though, every day of the week right now.
Yeah, this late in the ball game, you play the infield back, you'll trade a run for 2 outs and clear the bases. I think they're asking if he was on the bag. It looked like there was a little mishandle, if you will, by Diaz, the shortstop, and it messed up the timing.
So double play ball, no RBI for Reynolds. Clears the bases. Kind of a reset now. 6-5, 2 down, nobody on, and here's the rookie Juan Soto. And a curveball for a strike. Soto a double, a strikeout, a ground out. He has power. You know, 19-year-old, every night you're facing a pitcher you've never seen before. You're learning on the fly.
And that's why you take fastballs right down the middle. Just don't know them. I like his approach, though, with 2 strikes. Choking up now just a little bit more, spreading out at the plate just a little bit more. He's already struck out 1 time. Aaron got him back in the 4th inning.
Strike 3 called. He thought it was inside. Axford gets him. And that's all. 6-5 Blue Jays going to bottom 8. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Jamie Campbell, Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio.
will receive a J-Happ bobblehead on Monday, July 2nd, when your Blue Jays host the Detroit Tigers at 1:07 p.m. Eastern. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. To the home half of the 8th inning we go, back up to Dan Shulman and Pat Tabler.
Hazel, thank you. The new pitcher for the Nationals, veteran right-hander Sean Kelly.
Sean Kelly in 17 games has an ERA of 4.26, basically sinker slider. The veteran, he has been around. He has pitched for the Padres and the Yankees and the Mariners. So these situations, they're not going to faze him at all.
Russell Martin leads off the bottom of the 8th, and Kelly lands awkwardly in his follow-through as he bounces in a slider for ball 1. It'll be Martin, Grichuk, and Diaz. Russell's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. And might have something in his eye right now. Ball 2. Meanwhile, now that it's 6-5 bottom 8, it'll be Ryan Tepera getting up and getting loose for the 9th inning. Well, given what happened down in Tampa Bay, and given that Max Scherzer's pitching tomorrow, as the old saying goes, Tabby, this would be a good one to win.
Yeah. A good one to win. They're flexing the muscles again tonight with the home run ball.
Off the end of the bat to right field, and a busy night for Adam Eaton, 1 down. As we just mentioned, Max Scherzer will be on the mound for Washington tomorrow. As good as it gets, 10-2 with an ERA of 2, striking out people at an unbelievable clip. Marco Estrada, a former Washington National back in the day, will start for the Blue Jays.
You couldn't be more opposite when it comes to pitchers. One is pure power and says, hey, all I want to do is strike people out. The other guy, a changeup. That's the best in baseball.
Randall Grichuk's 0 for 3. And he golfs one high in the air, pretty deep left center, but room for Bryce Harper, 2 down. This Washington series begins a tough stretch for the Blue Jays. The Nats are in 2nd place. The Atlanta Braves are ahead of them, and the Braves are coming in next Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and then a tough road trip to take on the Angels and the defending World Series champion Houston Astros.
Lots of first place teams on the schedule over the next couple of weeks. The Houston Astros have won 8 in a row. They're 20 games over 500.
And that's only good enough for a half-game lead on Seattle.
That's it.
Seattle's winning a crazy number of close games. But a win's a win.
Just like a hit's a hit. Yeah. And Aledmys Diaz has a couple of them tonight. An infield hit where he scored in the 3rd inning. He also banged a ball through the left side in the 4th inning. He's looking for something inside that he can turn on.
That went a little bit too far inside for him to turn on it, and it's 1-2. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, the Nationals will send up Wilmer Defoe, Pedro Severino, and Adam Eaton, 8-9-1, as Diaz chases a ball in the dirt. And that is all for the Blue Jays bottom 8. So we go to the 9th. Blue Jays 6, Nationals 5. Ryan Tepera coming on in.
Presented by Honda. The Honda Checkered Flag event is back. Hurry in to grab the Civic that matches your game.
Friday Night Baseball here at Rogers Center in Toronto, and a crowd of better than 29,000 enjoying themselves and enjoying the Blue Jay lead into the 9th inning, but it is a precarious lead of just 1 run after the Nationals got 2 in the 8th, and that means a save opportunity here with just a 1-run lead for Ryan Tepera.
Ryan is 3 for 6 in saves this year. Looks like John Gibbons wants to go to Tepera. Started the year as really the setup man for Roberto Osuna. Now he has taken over as the closer. Last time out a couple of days ago, they tried to stretch him out an inning and 2/3 versus Tampa Bay. It took him 32 pitches. Now he's got a clean inning to start. Tepera has never faced the Washington Nationals.
Wilmer Defoe leads it off for the Nationals, hitting in the 8th spot. And it's just inside, a ball and a strike. See Defoe choking up as always, just trying to slap it somewhere and get on base any way he can. And we got a pinch hitter in the on deck circle. Brian Goodwin looks like he's going to bat for Pedro Severino, the catcher. Adam Eaton due up 3rd. If it gets past that, you're looking at guys like Turner and Harper. And it drops into right field for a base hit. And the leadoff man is aboard. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central, here are Brendan and Jesse. All right, guys, thank you. Hopefully you'll be talking about a Blue Jay win as well. But the tying run is aboard with nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning for Brian Goodwin. Solarte way in tight at 3rd. And a strike at the knees, 0-1.
When you are the road team, you don't bunt here to tie the game, maybe to go ahead. So Blue Jays can back up just a little bit.
Goodwin hitting just 171 and 0 for 6 as a pinch hitter on the season. Runner goes. Throw down by Martin on a bounce, and it gets into center field. But Defoe had slid and wasn't aware of where the ball was, so he'll stay at second. Well, the tying run now in scoring position with nobody out.
They are not afraid to try and steal bases. That's just the 5th attempt for Defoe. He's been successful 3 times, and if he picks up the ball quicker, he could be on 3rd base. He has no idea where the ball is. Right there, it gets by Diaz. You can see he can really run, and Travis trying to back up. Good job by Diaz to deke him a little bit like he's got the baseball.
3rd stolen base of the night for the Nationals. Now they're creeping in on the corners for the Blue Jays, backed up the middle. And the 1-1. Fly ball left field. Hernandez back. Makes the catch. Defoe will tag. And will beat the throw to 3rd. Hit the umpire after it bounced past Solarte. So a deep fly ball moves Defoe to 3rd with 1 out.
Boy, that's I think what you're going to start to see a little bit more of in baseball, Dan, is athletes. With all the great relief pitching, you have to figure out a way to manufacture a run with some speed. He gets on a base hit, steals second base, and now tags up on a fly ball to left field. And really no chance to get him. Too fast. Makes it easily. So now they've got a runner at 3rd base, less than 2 out. The infield has to come in.
For Adam Eaton, who can put the ball in play.
They have had success against Eaton tonight, pounding him with fastballs.
Ground ball to second. Runner freezes. Throw to first. 2 down. No chance for Defoe to try to score on that.
No, you can't. Not where you are in the lineup. You play make it go through. With the infield in, you can't take a chance. You got Turner and then Harper, so you just have to freeze, make it go through. Blue Jays do the right thing, bring the infield in. They get the Adam ball, and they're 1 out away.
The batter, Trey Turner. And many starting to stand here at the Rogers Center. Just low for ball 1. Turner 1 for 4. A 257 hitter. Tremendous speed. Can surprise you with his pop too. Corners even with the bags. Middle infielders backed up. And a strike. It looked fairly comfortable at 6-3 going to the 8th. Anything but right now.
Oh,
boy,
what a play. They scored run number 3 on a wild pitch, where Russell was set up inside and the ball went away from him. Saves a run here. This time he is outside and he's sitting out there and corrals it.
Fouled off, 2-2. The slider misses outside. It's a full count. With a runner at third, 2 down. Bryce Harper on deck. And the Blue Jays clinging to a 1-run lead here in the 9th inning.
You got to go for the strikeout. You don't want to face Bryce Harper. Go for the strikeout. End it right here.
Swing and a miss on a high slider up in the zone. Tepera strikes out Turner. And the Blue Jays try to put that memory of the sweep down in Tampa Bay a little bit in their rearview mirror by taking the opener from the Nationals here tonight.
And a game like tonight will help you do that. Energy from the crowd tonight. Aaron Sanchez gives you 6 very good innings. The offense turns it around. Home runs by Travis, a couple by Solarte, some add-on runs into the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays have a big win against a very good team.
Interesting game. Solarte a huge night. Travis homers, and the Blue Jays win it 6-5. Let's go back to the studio now. Sportsnet Central with Brendan and Jesse.